So I'm doing a review on the Tamobyke v20 Pro. A couple things I want to touch on this video is that I bought this from Temu, and I want to talk about the bike, Tamobyke v20 Pro. I was very hesitant at first buying this bike from Temu because a lot of people don't want to buy bikes from Temu, but I would always say buy directly from the manufacturer. So your warranty is so you get your warranty. But this video is talking about ordering any e-bike from Temu. So I was very hesitant at first, but it came straight from Tamobyke. And after messages back and forth with the seller, I asked him, "Is this an actual Tamobyke branded bike?" And he said, "Yeah." And it comes out to the same price as you would get it on the Tamobyke website. After you use like the promo code on their website, it comes out to like $830. It was pretty much the same thing. So they have the V20 Pro and the V20. I would opt for the V20 Pro because you get stronger motor, better controller, hydraulic brakes, a rear rack. The front rack was added, and the tail light, and my bags, those frame bags, and the mirror, and my phone holder. Now this bike does come with a lock, a phone holder, an alarm. It comes with an extra tube, extra pair of brake pads. You get a lot. You get a lot for your money. Yeah, you get a lot for your money. A toolkit comes with everything you need to put the bike together. So the bike will come about 90% assembled. A lot of people say, "Oh, it only took me an hour." It took me like two and a half, 3 hours to put the bike together. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. It always takes me a lot longer to put the bikes together than everybody else because I take my time doing it. So the bike, they claim 1,500 to 2,000 watt motor, which is false. It is a strong bike. It has 90 newton meters of torque, and I can see how people can get confused and may think it would be a 1,500 watt, 2,000 watt motor because how much torque it has. But in all reality, you get a current display on there, and it comes out to 25 amps of current. So even at a full charge, 54.6 volts times 25 amps equals the most, like 1,400. 13 to 1,400 watts of power, of peak power. So I'm not a real believer in that. And you might think it's a 2,000 watt because how much torque it has, but yeah, it has 90 newton meters of torque. Now I messaged them asking what type of battery cells it has. They had said Tianjin Listen batteries, which after looking it up, it says that's one of the first lithium ion. Well, actually, it was the first lithium ion battery company in China. So I searched them up, and it's pretty reputable. You don't get Samsung cells or anything like that, but it was actually the first. It says online that it was their first. It is the first lithium ion company in China. So they've been around for like 30 years plus. I think it's at 27 years, but still, that's enough, man. You get good. I get about anywhere between. I get around like the other day. I got like 27 miles max on the 18.2 hour battery. So if you order the regular Pro, it comes with a 15.6 amp hour battery. So I would opt for the Pro. If you get the regular V20, you only get a 15.6, and you get cable. Just get regular cable brakes, mechanical disc brakes. You don't get the Logan hydraulic brakes. So for the extra money, you get a lot more. You get an 18.2 amp hour battery, stronger controller and motor, better brakes. You get a rear rack, and I think this controller on here has a little more torque. So yeah, you get a lot for $830, right? Everything I'm gonna go over, you get about. I could say, all right, 1,500 watts. I can see how they can just equal it out to 1,500 watts. I can see that. You get 1,500 watt motor, basically somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 watts, right? Because I know e-bikes. I've been riding for a long time, and I have a display that shows how many watts. And I had the same exact controller on my MoveCam V30, and it's literally the same exact controller. Everything was the same on that bike, and it came out to like 1,330 peak wattage. So yeah. But basically, yeah, I can see how you could round it off to 1500 watts. But yeah, you get all right. I'll say a 1500 watt maybe, but it is probably most likely like 1400 watts. But still, you get that. You get a 48-2 chain ring with a guard, 152 millimeter crank arms, which is good because it's a moped style e-bike, so it has a shorter pedal stroke, which is better for moped style bikes, being that they're more lower to the ground. It has a 32-inch seat height. You can opt for the front rack, which I did. I'll leave the link for that too. Now the tail light, that was an add-on. I got that. You can either get this from the MoveCam website or the Tamobyke website. It's plug and play, and it's definitely worth it. Now, I ordered this bike from Temu, and it was packed immaculate. It was packed really good, man. So you get everything. You get a pump, brake pads, extra tube, a phone holder, a lock. You get a lot of stuff, man. A toolkit, an alarm, which is right here. So I put that right there. You got front suspension, about 60 millimeters of travel. You got 190 millimeter shock in the back, which is about 51 millimeters of rear suspension. And for out the box, man, it's comfortable. It's more than you get on most bikes. Better than a hardtail, and it feels good riding. So you got that 48 tooth chain ring with the guard, 1500 watt motor. You got a daytime running light. That's how it looks with the nighttime light. See, which is bright. You get a horn. Big LED display. Shows your trip, voltage, current. Then if you press the power button in the plus, shows max speed, average speed. The add-on, I put the Gub Pro. I only use Gub Pros on my bikes. It's the best phone holder you could get. Logan hydraulic brakes, 2-piston Logan hydraulic brakes. I added the mirror and the frame bags. 160 millimeter rotors. They're about 3 millimeters thick. Which usually I always upgrade to like 180 or 203s, but the Logan hydraulics have such good stopping power that I'm just completely fine with that. I'll leave that as it is. You get 20x4 Kenda Crusade tires, which I will be changing these. I do love these tires because they're fast, and there's not a lot of roll resistance with them. But I got a flat on the first day, so yeah, I was bummed about that. First day I was changing a flat out there on the street. So I wasn't happy about that, but they're fast though. If they pick up speed real quick, so you get an 18.2 amp hour. Now like I said, they said the battery cells are Listen Taya Jin, something like that, which is one of the first lithium ion batteries in China. So you don't get Samsung or anything like that, but it is a good battery, and I get about 20 to 27 miles depending on how I ride. The other day I got 27 miles on the 18.2 amp hour battery, but you do only get a 2 amp charger, so if you ride it completely to empty, it's going to take 9 hours to charge. So just be in mind with that. You can always buy like a 3 or 4 amp hour. You can always buy like a 3 amp or a 4 amp charger from AliExpress, like $10-20. Then you got your rear passenger pegs, which these are really nice. Now those are your plastic mud guards, which I really like these. These are nice. I used to be only a fan of mud guards, but yeah, I really like these, man. I don't know if they're like propane or what they are, but then right here you got the specs on the back. See, V20 Pro. V20 Pro, 32 miles per hour, max load 150 kilograms, 48 volts, 18.2 hour battery. Yeah, you got everything on there. Now, in the link on Temu, it will say that it comes with a 15.6 amp hour battery, but just ignore that because it doesn't. I messaged him back and I'm like, well, the V20 Pro is supposed to come with an 18.2 amp hour battery. And he was like, oh, well, what does it say in the pictures? In the pictures, it showed that it comes with a 15.6. So if you do order it from Temu, I'm gonna leave the Tamobyke link in there too. If I was you, I would buy it straight from the manufacturer so you get your warranty. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but yeah, and you can also use Klarna on Temu or PayPal, which as you can on the Tamobyke website. So I only paid like $470 down, and I had to pay like another $118 every 2 weeks. So that's good for people, man. Let's be honest, we living in 2025, man, and everything is so expensive, man. A lot of people don't have money to pay straight up for a bike, so you can always opt for that. I'll leave the link for the front rack as well. It goes 0 to 20 in 5 seconds, 90 newton meters of torque, goes max speed 32 miles per hour. Like I said, I told you the cells, 2 amp battery charger, so it would be about 9 hours from empty to full. This is my third moped style bike, man, and this is probably the fastest I had. This thing picks up speed fast. It goes fast. So if you're not used to it, when you hit the accelerator, it takes off, man. So you just gotta get used to it. Because I've had other e-bikes with like 55 newton meters of torque. I had the MoveCam V30 Pro, which honestly I'm pretty sure Tamobyke and MoveCam are the same company. I'm not really sure, but I know the V30 used to be labeled under Tamobyke, and then all of a sudden it was branded to MoveCam. So I don't know what's up with that. So sometimes I suspect that they're the same company and all the parts are the same, exactly the same parts as the MoveCam V30, the V30 Pro or the V30 Max or whatever. The motor's the same, the brakes are the same, the rack's the same, the suspension is the same in the back, the front suspension is the same. Everything is exactly the same. I even have a controller for my. It's exactly the same. Everything is the same. The only thing that's not the same is the display. Throttle's the same, yeah, but I didn't want to get another move cam because my frame cracked after 6 months and they didn't honor my warranty and they blocked me. So I ended up getting this, which I will be modding out probably today or tomorrow. I'm gonna be putting a 30 amp hour battery where that 18.2 amp hour battery sits. And I got a Super 73 frame bag, and I'm gonna be putting another 15.6 amp hour battery in that. And I'm gonna be running that either down here or maybe on top, depending. I'm waiting on the bag right now from AliExpress. It should come today or tomorrow, but I'm definitely gonna put videos out for that too. But I wanted to talk how the bike comes out straight out the box for $830. You get a lot, man. You get a 1500 watt motor, 18.2 amp hour battery, Logan hydraulic brakes, 2 piston brakes. You get a daytime running light, even the rear tail light that it comes with, it has turn signals, has your rear tail brake, your rear brake light. I'm sorry. You get front and rear suspension for $830. There's bikes that are like $2,000 that doesn't even come with this much stuff and doesn't go this fast. But I can't speak how about the longevity of this project of this product. I don't know what I'll be running into the future, but if you don't ride it too hard and you're someone that's using it for commuting or just leisure ride and stuff like that, you'll get a lot out of it, man. Like me, I'm gonna be using it for Uber Eats. I have 2 bikes and I try to keep at least 2 bikes, so if something goes wrong with one, I have the other. Seat height is 32 inches. Alright. That's about it, man. I mean, you get a lot. Like I said, cranks. That's pretty much everything on the bike, man. But yeah, like I said, that's my experience. It was boxed exceptionally well too. For $830, man, you could get a good bike from Temu. Or you can just order it straight from Tamobyke. But either way, you get a great bike, man. Steel frame. Frame is steel. You get a coil shock in the back, like I said. 190 millimeters, 51 millimeters of travel. 60 millimeters travel in the front. Alloy pedals. 48 tooth chain ring. 1300 watt motor. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, and I forgot this. It's always the best part right here. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's always. I saved that just for the video. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like the best part of the bike. I was actually just saving that for the video. Not to mention, man, cable management. Look at the cable management. It's pretty clean, man. I've a lot cleaner than other bikes. I'll tell you that much. Half twist throttle. 7-speed shifter. Your basic turny derailleur. Which is like the most basic low grade you can get, but I don't even really use that. I'm mostly a throttle guy, especially once I mod it out with 2 batteries. I'm not even gonna be pedaling like that. These moped style bikes are mostly for throttle, man. So yeah, I'll leave the links in the description. I don't think I forgot anything, man. Other than that, that's pretty much it. What else can I be talking about? For $830, you get a lot of bike, man. They do have the brown version. I did buy the brown version, but they ran out. So I didn't know if it was just the seller. So I even contacted Tamobyke, and they said the same thing, that they didn't have the brown version. But after I got it, I was like, you know what? I'm happy I got the all black version. I think it looks better. It's look at it. It's blacked out. The front rack was an add-on. I'll leave the link in the description for that as well. You got a 330-pound payload. If you think about it, man, it's like a little moped style / cargo bike. You look at that. You got a cargo rack in the front and back, which I need because, like I said, I do Uber Eats, so I need something that I can hold a lot of stuff, and that's why I went with this front and rear rack. Which I mean, I already had the front rack from the Move Cam bike that I had, so luckily I had that already. It came with the back rack. You can add a passenger on there, but I don't know, man. It's a little sketchy. I don't think I would be riding around with another passenger on there. Especially after my frame cracked on my Move Cam, man, which is also a steel frame. I don't know if I'm going to take a chance on that. So, but yeah, man, 160 millimeter brake rotors. Like I said, man, that's pretty much everything I went over. Everything is clean. Cable management down here. Which then goes up through here, and you got your controller that sits down here. Controller sits over here. This is the type of motor cable you have, which you probably seen this motor cable before. It's pretty much like the basic Subtle. It's pretty much a Subtle. It's a Subtle motor, which is like an off-branded Bafang. I've got so many of these motors, man, that I already know. This is the same motor I've had on the last 3 moped style bikes I had. They all have the same motor, motor core with this same plug right here, with that same motor cable and connect. I've had so many e-bikes, I already know like what I'm pretty much dealing with already. Like, look, I have another motor right here. Same exact motor just sitting in the box. It's the same exact motor. And then I have the same exact motor sitting on another bike, so I have like 3 motors. If anything goes wrong, I have 3 motors. Well, this one, the gears need to be changed, but I have another motor sitting in my yard. I have actually 2 other motors sitting in my yard with the same motor. So I have a total of 4 motors right now, just from like all the bikes that I have. So if I have to, I have extra controller in there. I have so much extra headlight, just because I've had so many of these bikes that they all pretty much come with the same stuff now, man. Same headlight, the same horn, the same motor. They're all pretty basic with the same stuff. Some have stronger controllers, some have weaker controllers. This is one of the most stronger controllers I had, though. This bike has a lot of torque. There's like I said, $2,000 bikes that don't even feel like this. You get a lot with what you're paying for, so I definitely recommend the bike, man. Like I said, I can't speak for the longevity of the bike and what problems I'm going to run into in the future, but so far I'm happy with my purchase for $830. It looks great, it feels great, it rides great. So yeah, and like I said, if you can't afford a bike straight up, you don't have the money, you can use the Klarna app or PayPal, paying for something like that. Look how wide that bottom bracket is. That's like the widest bottom bracket I had so far. Look at that. The bottom bracket sits in there. It's wide, man. I've had this. This is a good pedal assist sensor, man. Yeah, everything's just clean about the bike, man. That's what I like about it. It's a steel frame. I prefer steel frames over aluminum. Just because sometimes I put like 50, 40 miles a day on my bikes. Just doing Uber Eats, and the problem I have with that is that on aluminum bikes, it eats out the dropouts. It eats at the aluminum dropouts, and then eventually your dropouts get bigger and bigger to the point where the wheel just won't stay in. The dropouts can't hold the wheel in, and then you got to put torque arms on there. I just had to change the swing arm on my Angle AM20 because of that. Because I had like over 20,000 miles on that bike, and my dropouts were 8 inches. So I bought a new swing arm from them, changed that out, and now I'm good to ride on that too. I have an Angle AM20, which is one of the best bikes I've had too. But this, compared to that, man, you get a lot for your money, man. This is one of the fastest bikes I've had. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a fun bike. When you ride it, you're like, oh wow, it takes off. You're like, this bike is fun. Like you get going and you're like, whoa. So, yeah, I was a little starstruck. I'm like, oh. But yeah, man, you can in here, right? You can adjust that. There's a little screw in there, so if you want to play, like if you want to adjust the play on here, on like to whatever's comfortable to your hands, you can adjust that. Like I said, seat's not adjustable. You can adjust the crank length. They have shorter crank arms on Amazon if you want. Like 152. Most bikes don't come with 152. They come with like 165, 170, 160 maybe. I haven't seen a lot of bikes with 152 millimeter crank arms. And with that, actually makes a lot of sense to me because you have a shorter pedal stroke, so it's more comfortable to pedal with 152 millimeter crank arms, which actually makes a lot of sense to me, which is very smart. So yeah, man. Well, that's the bike. I will be modding it out. I'll probably do some videos on that as well. But this is how it came out the box, man, and you get your money's worth.